Hello, friends. I'm Mrs. Power from the Algonquin Public Library, and it's National Love Your Pet Day. So welcome to my home. I'm a foster home for some of the area animal rescues. This is our foster arugula. Ruru. She's a little underweight, so she's wearing a very sporty sweater today, but she's going to help us with story time. We're doing it in collaboration with McHenry County Animal Control. So if you would like to do a very nice craft, there's a link below. There's also instructions here. If you would like to sign up for a kit, you can come up to the library and pick one up while supplies last. We have some new pet kits for all of you who have taken in new pets in 2020 and now 2021. They also gave us a nice card game and some information about being a responsible new pet owner. So if you've brought home a new pet this year, feel free to contact us by calling us or going through our website and sending us a message. And we have some kits available at the Youth Services Department. So now that they're a little more settled, let's read some stories. Now, as I mentioned before, we're doing this in partnership with McHenry County Animal Control, our friends that have put together our craft in the links below, as well as our new pet kits for all of you who have brought home a new friend. Now let's talk about what Animal Control does. If you find a stray animal, they're the people that you call when you don't know who the owner is. They do their best to find the owner. They have many ways that they do that. Microchip is the big way that they do that. So if you do have a new pet, make sure you get the microchip so that if they ever get lost, they can come back to you. But there are some animals that don't have microchips and they aren't able to find the owner, if there ever was an owner to begin with. There are many animals that are strays that have never had a family. And those animals are taken in by Animal Control in hopes that they find a new home. Now, because of the pandemic, Animal Control stores have been closed to visitors, but that doesn't mean that you can't contact them to help find a new pet. They work with many local animal rescue organizations in order to get these stray animals into homes. Animal Rescue takes them in and makes sure that they're nice and healthy for you before you take them to your home. There's many ways that they do that. They might have their own vets or have you take them to the vet before you officially adopt them to make sure that they're nice and healthy. Animal Rescue may have a facility that's open, or they may have foster homes like mine that they have the animals stay at and get nice and healthy and work on some training skills before they become someone's pet. Now, I'm going to read a story about a dog who was rescued and found a new home. This story is called Belly Rubbins for Bubbins. It's the story of a rescue dog, written by Jason Kress. There once was a puppy named Bubbins. All he wanted was belly rubbins. He grew up in a house where his owners were mean. He barely ate and was never kept clean. Bubbins did tricks, never barked, and he behaved each day. But when he rolled over for belly rubbins, they always shooed him away. But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, "I'm going to get a loving family one day." Does Bubbins look a bit like my friend Rue? I think that he does. To the corner, they said, where he sat quiet and sad, no one rubbing his belly, though he hadn't been bad. Bubbins laid on the hard floor, and he cried, until his owner pointed and yelled, "Get outside!" But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, I'm going to get a loving family one day. Outside in the yard and behind a tall fence, he had many tough experiences, which to him didn't make sense. Bubbins lived outside for nearly 10 years, but somehow stayed loving despite his fears. Do you see him peeking out through the hole? Every day he told himself that he would be okay. Even in these hard times, he would find a way to play. But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, I'm going to get a loving family one day. Lonely and forgotten was 10-year-old Bubbins. No one to love him or give him belly rubbins. But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, I'm going to get a loving family one day. One sunny morning, Bubbins awoke to find his gate left open. He'd never been outside the yard, but his spirit was unbroken. He barked, adios! And to the only place he had ever known, smiling wide, he peed on the fence and was free to roam. Ew. Walking down the street, people to the left and to the right. A nice man saw Bubbins and decided to treat him right. Hey there, little guy. You've got no parents or collar. I'm going to take you to the shelter, so please don't holler. Bubbins jumped into the big green truck, and the nice man drove away. He said, I'm taking you somewhere you might get a loving family one day. At the shelter, a very thankful Bubbins lived for nearly a year. People passing by the proud old dog, with Bubbins shedding only a tear. But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, I'm going to get a loving family one day. Bubbins never gave up. And one day a young couple appeared, a woman with a friendly smile and a big man with a beard. The woman turned to the man and said with a sigh, I can't help but feel bad for this poor little guy. He's been through so much, and still, look at that happy face. He deserves a home. Let's get him out of this place. Bubbins jumped to his feet as the door swung open, tail wagging so fast. He was finally chosen. He knew deep down in his heart that he was finally okay because he'd been adopted by a loving family today. As he left the shelter, he thought of all his pals. They all deserved homes, even the ones with scowls. As he looked back at the shelter, he saw all the volunteers gathered. Bubbins loved them so much because they showed him his life mattered. Bubbins' tongue flapped out the window the entire ride. The man and woman smiled and looked on with great pride. Arriving at his new home, Bubbins ran through the door. The first thing he saw were many new toys on the floor. A new family to show love, they named him Bubbins. He rolled on his back and they gave him belly rubbins. And here are pictures of the actual Bubbins before he was adopted and with his family. As you can tell, we do like dogs around here, but we've had cats and fish and some other animals here too. So, because we want to talk about some other animals, let's read a story about a cat. This one is called Lola Gets a Cat by Anna McQuinn. Lola gets a cat. Lola loves cats. She wants a real one. Mommy says looking after a cat is a lot of work. Lola decides to find out more. She learns that cats are super at smelling and hearing. Lola reads all about how to care for cats. She pretends Dinah is a real cat and practices looking after her. See Lola's chart? It has the days of the week on top, and it has some pictures along the side here. That's for food and water and, oh, I'm not sure what that last one is, but maybe it's toys, so she can keep track. At last, Mommy agrees. Lola can get a cat. Mommy and Lola find out how to adopt one. At the cat shelter, they meet Jeremy. He shows them 3 perfect cats. Before Lola can decide, one little cat chooses her. Jeremy says moving is scary for some cats. He gives Lola a list of things that will help. Lola will be back as soon as everything at home is ready. All the next day, Lola and Mommy shop. What a lot of stuff for a little cat. Lola and Daddy make a special corner where her cat will settle in. Finally, Lola is ready to bring home her cat. At first, the cat is afraid, but her own blanket makes her feel safe. Lola says, not to worry. At home, the little cat stays in her carrier. After a while, she comes out and sniffs around. Lola watches. She knows her cat isn't ready to play just yet. Lola decides to call her cat Makita. It's the name of an African queen. Lola takes excellent care of Makita. She feeds her and gives her fresh water. Do you see Lola is using her chart again? This time with her real cat. One day, Lola's friend Ty brings a special present for Makita. Ty and Lola play with Makita all afternoon. At last, Makita feels right at home. Her favorite thing is to snuggle Lola. Every evening, Lola reads to Makita. Tonight's story is about a famous cat. Lola loves her little cat, and reading with Makita is the very best of all. The end. And that was Lola Gets a Cat. If you've liked today's stories, there's a list below. You can click on it to see many more fun stories about dogs, cats, fish, turtles, many different pets. And if you'd like some resources to help you learn how to take care of your pet, please contact us and we'll be happy to help. Until then, we'll see you soon. Stay happy, stay healthy. Bye-bye.